Okay, Shalom Akim, Kahalayim La Yahaba Shim Yashaba Shiraka Kudash, and double honors to the great and apostles. Thadi How Thadi Yasha for the strength and all to make this video, and Yaratazar that you're built up from it. But this is the continuation from the other video. And first was the brother Raza Rahala Waya, meaning willing spirit praise Yahweh. You know, when we say Kahalayim La, we're saying all praises to. And then when we say Yahweh, that's the true name of the Most High God, which means he is, he exists, or he is to be. When we say Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem means in the name, and Yahweh Shai means he delivers. And that's the name of the Messiah. So when we say Bahashem Kodash, we're saying in the name Holy Spirit, in the name Spirit Holy, which means through the Holy Spirit. So just a brief intro there. And read, this is like the part 2 to the other video where it's like Babylon, in brackets Nero, is getting on the nerves of the other nations, man, with these tariffs. And I got a little thing. You know, BBC News had a little post on their channel, you know, on the Nintendo Switch, man. But before I get that, let me get the precepts here for this video and Yaratazar. I remember to get that at the end. So let's just play it. Because this one, I said I want to also bring out a video based upon the chariots, man. Or really rather the chariots of Egypt. Because the fact that they won't have anything on Yahushua when he comes with his chariots. Now it says here, let me just read the title. Just in, Trump announces new F-47 fighter plane, but most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built. Now, of course, that's according to the power that Yahweh Bashim Yashai has given Esau, you know, to develop the technology to be able to reach the peak of his aircraft speeds and maneuvering. So, really, he's going to take some pride in that. But nevertheless, that pride is in vain. Because the reality is the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are far more powerful and agile than anything Esau could ever build. So Forbes breaking news, that's the channel. So let's continue on. Then I'm gonna get some presets, man.
Needs. But we're here for a reason today that is very exciting, and I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first 6th generation fighter jet. Number 6, 6th generation. Nothing in the world.
Yeah, notice how he emphasizes that 6, man, because, you know, 6 represents man. And of course, you know, he's the man of whom is going to bring out that beast system, Esau Edom. So that's it. That's why he emphasizes that 6. Yeah, my free spirit as well. You have a little advert on the right. It says 60%. Anyways, let's continue.
Comes even close to it. And it'll be known as the F-47. The generals picked a title. And it's a beautiful number, F-47. It's something the likes of which nobody has seen before in terms of all of the attributes of a fighter jet. There's never been anything even close to it, from speed to maneuverability to what it can have to payload. And this has been in the works for a long period of time. After a rigorous and thorough competition between some of America's top aerospace companies, the Air Force is going to be awarding the contract for the next generation air dominance platform to Boeing. As you know, it was highly competed for. There was a lot of competition, generals, and it's been going on for a long time. Very, very tough competition, but this plane is produced numbers that nobody's ever seen before.
Before I let the video continue, I want to get a few precepts. Okay, this is Isaiah 47 verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. Again, you know, you could already tell from the way Trump speaks, which obviously in general he speaks with pride anyways, but with the achievement of the F-47, which is obviously the latest aircraft that they have, which has that speed and, you know, ultimate peak maneuverability compared to the other aircraft of the other nations, You know, he's going to get prideful about it, man. But that's going to be what he's going to be using during his downfall. Because he's going to have to use that when fighting against the Chariots, man. Because the Chariots, when they move, they don't move with restrictions. With the plane, you know, you got to charge it up. When I say charge it up, I'm talking about, you know, you got to let it's got to have a runway first before it then launches. With a chariot, you could just go straight to the sky, man, at any speed you want, really. It's according to the power of the user, I guess. Because the reason why I said it's according to the power of the user is because of this. You know, this is the way the chariots are controlled. They're controlled really via the mind. You know, you think it to go to the left or right, it will go there. If you think it to go up, then it will go up. So that's really that telekinesis, where you can control objects with your mind, and it's in sync with the spirit. That's the way it is. So Ezekiel 1 and verse 20, it says, whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels, representing the chariots, were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. And of course, we know that the spirit and the spirit is really within the mind. And of course, the mind is how you know, you think thoughts, and of course, these thoughts is how you then control the chariots, man. Which really, that in itself is also a level of faith as well. That's the thing. Which really, you know, that's just because, you know, the angels. So of course, they go operate on that. By default, they're operating on a higher level of faith, anyways, man. But of course, for those of us on earth, you know, when the spiritual power comes, that's the way it's going to be. You just know that, okay, you think the thought and then it's already there. You know, Yaras is all, let's say, the spiritual power to get food out of, basically to manifest food out of the air, or to get food out of basically, because the thing is, with this type of power here, where it says whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was the spirit to go. They thought the thought. They were thinking, okay, let the child move to the left. It's gonna move to the left, or let it rise. Then it rise, and it doesn't have to rise slowly. It can rise super fast as well. You know, like in the movies, the alien movies. But as I was saying, you know, you could when Yahweh Shimshak gives us the power, you know, some bro's gonna be able to manifest food out of the air, man. You know, which manifest really, if you really research the definition, it just means to make clear, you know, even the physical world or in the mind. And that's really it. But faith, you know, the evidence of things unseen and the substance of things hoped for, you know, is to just know. The ultimate level of faith is to just know something without really having the evidence. That's like having that innate belief. So that's the same way the angels going to be controlling them chariots, man. So let me get another precept here on Esau Edom. Because as the chariots are moving that way in a irregular pattern, which Esau's not used to, because Esau obviously has to fly straight, especially in the sky. Because if you don't fly straight at a specific speed, then their chariots would fall, man. So let's get this. Isaiah 19 and 14, the Lord Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So despite the pride of him, going to the pride of in the F-47 fighter plane, you know, it's still going to be used for his downfall at the end of the day, man. All right, so let's continue here.
Seen before, the F-47 will be going on for a long time. Very, very tough competition, but this plane is produced numbers that nobody's ever seen before. The F-47 will be the most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built. An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation. There's no other nation. We know every other plane. I've seen every one of them, and it's not even close. This is a next level. You know, level 5 is good. This is level 6, they say. The F-47 is equipped with state-of-the-art stealth technology. It's virtually unseeable and unprecedented power. It's got the most power of any jet of its kind ever made. Maneuverability, likewise, is there's never been anything like it, despite the power and speed. Its speed is top. So over 2, which is something that you don't hear very often. America's enemies will never see it coming. Hopefully we won't have to use it for that purpose, but you have to have it. And if it ever happens, they won't know what the hell hit them. A new fleet of...
Thing is, when Yahushua comes, of course they'll know what's there ain't gonna be nothing coming. That's the thing. It's just gonna be. It's like throwing what's something like let me try and think of something. It's like throwing, let's say, wet mud, or which is going to dissipate. It's like throwing water in the air, and then in a very hot environment. Because when Yahushua comes back, with the chariots, it's going to be quite a hot environment, especially with them lasers, happening, the fires in Babylon anyways, the nuclear missiles. All the nations and Yahushua are going to be against Babylon. That's the point. So really, Babylon ain't got nothing. They think that they got something. They're going to be able to do certain things. But in that day, it's a done deal, man. It's a done deal for Babylon.
These magnificent planes will be built in the air during my administration over the next couple of years. It's ready to go. They've already built much of what has to be built in terms of production, including the sheds. We'll ensure that the USA continues to dominate the skies. We've given an order for a lot. Yeah,
they're gonna dominate the skies in their delusion, man. They're gonna dominate the skies until their downfall. Now, Isaiah 19:14, the Lord Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So of course, that's the way it's going to be, man. They're going to make mistakes with their chariots. I really, the chariots are weak anyways compared to the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, let me get this. That's why Jake trusting in Esau Edom is just a foolish move right now, man. In the aspect of his army. You can't be trusting in the army of Esau. And Esau ain't going to be defending you anyways. Now, Isaiah 3:11. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill. Actually, hold on. So 3. Well, to be fair, this is also a good precept as well. Isaiah 3:11. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. So yeah, he's going to get the reward, man. So nevertheless of his pride, the Most High is just fattening him up before he slays him. Just like the way you fatten up a livestock, you feed them properly, to either sacrifice them, unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, as we know in Leviticus, the burnt offerings, there's wave offerings and whatnot, burnt meat offerings as well. But that's one thing, and that's the same way the Most High is also letting Esau reach his peak before Yahushua then comes and annihilates Babylon and its army, man. Especially at the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment, or Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment. That's in Joel chapter 3. So let me get a few more precepts. Then we're going to get to that little BBC post, as an update on the tariffs, because as I said, I explained why it's a bad thing that Babylon's doing right now. It's not really going to make America wealthy, because businesses are going to be quite restricted in selling to America, selling their products in America. So Isaiah 31:1, it says here, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots. Again, that F-47 is an example of a chariot as well, a chariot over the air. You got the chariot of the ground, that's the car or a bus. The chariot of the air is that F-47 as we saw, the F-47. So let's see, going back here again. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many. You see, just because Esau's got a great army, Babylon's got a great army, doesn't mean that you should trust in it. A big army does not mean that they're secure to win. That's just the outward appearance. Point is, whoever has Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is secure to win. Now, if it's between a heathen and a heathen in a war, it's the Most High's will, man. Whatever side he decides to win, wins. Just like the Israel and Hezbollah battles as well. So it says, because, and all of this is really in line with the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua with prophecy. It says, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not. Hold on. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. So that's the point, man. That is the point. You see, they say neither seek the Lord Yahweh, man. So really, Israelites trusting in Esau, Edom, they do it out of ignorance. Majority of them, anyway. Some of them willing ignorance. But yeah, that's really the point right there, man. Esau, Edom's gonna be slaves. So let's get this one as well. Psalm 68 and 17. So Esau thinks he's got a great army. Watch this. Psalm 68 and 17. I remember when I said in Ezekiel 1 how the chariots are controlled, man, through the mind. Ezekiel 1 verse 20. This is Psalm 68 verse 17. The chariots of the Lord, the chariots of the Most High Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord Yahweh, the Lord is among them. And of course, that's Yahushua, as in Sinai, in the holy place. So, of course, imagine if one chariot, as I described, is controlled via the mind, and can reach speeds far greater than Esau, Edom, is literally just limited to the power of the host, man. The power of the person, whether it be an angel, or, whatever spirit be controlling the chariot, man. So, that's really the point there. Now it says the Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. And so of course Yahushua is going to come with 20,000. As it says the chariots of the Most High are 20,000. But of course, the point is there's going to be a whole army of them. There's going to be a whole army, man. And really 20,000, if you think about it, will also suffice for the destruction too. And they will be in different sizes, not just the same size. So don't limit the potency of the chariots, man. Chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Alright, so anyways, I said I wanted to do something here in the post because of the tariffs. So that's the information on, the F-47 fighter plane. Point is, Esau Edom is just creating this for his own annihilation anyways. So it says here, I'm going to have to use this now. So it says here, Nintendo, this is from BBC News, Nintendo says it will no longer open pre-orders for the Switch 2 in the US, United States, next week after the introduction of steep tariffs on exports from Japan. Lately, for brothers that, are into gaming as well, the Nintendo Switch 2 came out recently. That's the latest Nintendo console. Back in the day, Nintendo had the DS, I think DSi, 3DS. They even had a 2DS as well. I remember them days. But yeah, man, this is their latest console, and that's the company really is based upon Japan. So remember when I said the tariff is really a tax on another country when they want to do business in that current country. So US having a tariff on Japan most likely was an increase on whatever products from Japan, imported into America. They got to pay tax on it. And of course, Japan is Nintendo really doesn't want to agree to this. Hence why they're pulling out of the pre-orders. That's why it says here, Nintendo pulls Switch 2 pre-orders in US over President Trump's tariffs, man. Trump was saying the intention is to make America wealthy, but businesses aren't going to be wanting to do business or to sell their products in America, man. Hence, also devaluing the dollar as well. So, all of this is just the early signs of the ripple effect of Babylon's downfall on the economic side, at least here. So, this is just like a little minor update, man. The Nintendo Switch, Japan, Nintendo were like, nope, that's too much, man. We're gonna hold off on that. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna end off there. Yara to Zale edified. So I'm going to say Shalom, Yabashim Yeshai, Barakatha.